Hi guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street, where the street speaks. My name is Sean, and I have my geek buddy over here, Eric. Hello.
Hello, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't had you in a long time, so glad you're back. Uh, you know. So yeah. How was your time away?
I was merely surviving, bro, because I was sick, very sick. So even now I'm not fully recovered, so I sound a bit weird. But I'm happy to be back, lah. Yeah,
Okay.
business as
Alright.
usual.
Yeah. Okay. No matter what, the Geek Street has to go on.
Yes.
Whether it's 4 people or even 1%. But thank God you haven't had a situation of just 1%.
No, we have.
We have,
That's-
but yeah.
That's when Jazz does the recordings. You know, that solo recording.
Yes. We have, in the past, yeah.
We have.
Yeah, all right. But of course, we try to avoid that and try to get as many people on as possible. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So basically, you have not been with us for I think about 2 weeks or something like that, and a couple of videos has been out, and so we of course have our She-Hulk trailer, our Wakanda Forever trailer breakdown, and then we have the SDCC announcements. Where we go through the whole slate of projects announced by Marvel in sort of like a timeline order. So yeah, Eric, what do you think about whatever that we have had so far? Besides, of course, not having seen Thor: Love and Thunder because sometimes we are just treated that way. Okay, so yeah, but besides that, that what we all miss. Okay, all right. But yeah, so what's your reaction to the trailers and the announcements, and what's your general feeling about it?
I think I'm excited for Daredevil. Like, I just want to know how much of a story, because like I think Marvel made not a mistake lah, but more of a marketing strategy to say that hey, Daredevil's gonna have 18 episodes, and he's gonna come out in She-Hulk. So I think he's gonna be a lot inside She-Hulk, and he's gonna play a big part lah. So I'm excited for that. Besides that, I also think that Wakanda Forever will be a revealing point. And the movies and the series that they announce are kind of like huge but very quiet, because you don't know what's gonna happen, or who's gonna come out, or who's gonna be new, who's gonna be old. Nothing as that. It's a whole new phase, so, and plus we haven't watched Thor: Love and Thunder, so we are kind of like in the black zone. But with the titles and on our own imagination, I think our own imagination will make us excited. Yeah, that's pretty much it lah. And for those who do not know, please do catch I'm Groot's short episodes. It's only like 3 to 4 minutes on Disney Hot Plus or Disney
Disney Hotstar.
Hotstar, yes, Hotstar.
Disney Plus Hotstar.
Yeah, Disney Plus Hotstar. So do catch it. It's only gonna take you 20 minutes for the whole thing.
We are
You watch
sorry,
it, yeah?
Disney. I know we tag you on our Instagram posts and things like that, so I don't know why Eric got that wrong. So
No, but you watch it, yeah?
I Am Groot. Yeah, I did watch I Am Groot.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Harun were discussing whether we should do a video on I Am Groot,
Nah.
but then we decided it's not going to. I think we might get 0 views for that. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, I Am Groot is okay. In terms of if you like Guardians and a hardcore fans of Guardians and you want to know what Groot has been up to, that's for you. But if you're just a general Marvel, fan watching movies and series as an entertainment, then probably might not be entertained lah. That's what I would say. But other than that, I think yeah. I mean, of course, it's good to see Groot. That he has his own shots. Although he was shot at that time also. So yeah. Okay, so I won't spoil anything for I Am Groot. You guys want to watch? You guys can watch it. Okay. So yeah. Today we will be doing sort of like a geek theory on Avengers Kang Dynasty, because we know that Marvel has announced two new Avengers movies. Um, and that is where the buzz is, and people want to know, Kang Dynasty, what does it mean, and then so on, and then what's going to happen in the ultimate one, which will be Avengers Secret Wars, because I think people are really interested to know about Secret Wars, especially. But we thought we will do Kang Dynasty in this video, and then we will do Secret Wars in an upcoming video, right? Because I think Secret Wars, it could be a bit more longer, because there are so many variations and things, and there's been different variation of the comic storylines as well, right? In terms of Secret Wars and things like that. So yeah, but we today we'll be just speaking about Kang Dynasty, so that's what we will go into and talk about it. So yeah, so this is our geek theories on Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Okay, so Marvel released, of course, not released. It announced that Kang Dynasty will be the first of two Avengers movies for this multiverse saga, right? So they're calling it the multiverse saga. If you didn't know what the multiverse saga is, go and watch our videos on the announcements. Okay, we spoke a lot about that, right? So the multiverse saga. So phase 6 would be, I wouldn't know whether it's the end of the multiverse saga, but I think it is the end of the multiverse saga. Then they will go into other things after phase 6, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, really, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch our video, okay? I do not have to explain the whole thing all over again, okay? But right. So phase 6 will be focused heavily on these two Avengers movie, and whatever that is happening now. From the start of phase 4, which is Spider-Man Far From Home, all the way until phase 6, which will be Spider-Man Far From Home is not the first. I think it is. Okay, go back and watch the video. I'll be explaining it. Okay, so but the end will be Avengers Secret Wars. Okay, so Avengers Secret Wars is a huge multiversal movie. Definitely. So we'll talk about it in the next episode. But Kang Dynasty, why what we are theorizing is it's going to be a 2-part Avengers movie, just like how it was in Infinity War. Where Kang will be the person, whatever happens in Kang Dynasty will have an effect in Secret Wars. Okay, that's why we need to speak about Kang Dynasty, then we speak about Secret Wars, so we have sort of an understanding of how this particular thing's going to, what's going to happen. Okay, so the first thing that we know that has been confirmed by Marvel, for now, we don't know, it's another 3 years, it might change. But the director of Shang-Chi, right? What's his name? Destin Daniel Cretton. So he is going to be the person who is going to direct Kang Dynasty. Okay, so it's pretty cool, right? And we know what an amazing job he has done in Shang-Chi with the visuals and the music. And for me watching Shang-Chi, there's not one part which I felt like it was draggy or boring, because I think everything made sense and everything, there was a reason. Even when the slowest part of the movie was when I think they were explaining about this what do you call that dragon, right? I can't remember anything in Shang-Chi already. Okay, I'll go and watch our breakdown video if you want to know more. So even during that part, they gave us so much information. They made us feel like, oh, really? Oh, okay. This happened. So it was very interesting throughout the movie. And I'm really happy that Destin is actually directing this, because based on what we saw in Shang-Chi. Okay. Besides that, I'm not sure of his other projects that he has done, but Shang-Chi really made me fall in love with his type of movie direction, and for sure it will be what we call action epic, so that's the thing that they will be going for. So that's confirmed. And then of course the storyline is not confirmed, how Um, I'm sure they will be writing, various scripts already by now, and things like that. So what we are sort of like going to be theorizing is this. So based on whatever that we have read all over the place, and found information here and there. So, Kang Dynasty, there's actually a Marvel comic or a Kang Dynasty storyline in the Marvel comic, which is in Avengers Volume 3, number 41 to 55. So the Kang Dynasty itself has around more than about 15 comic series that explores the Kang Dynasty. Okay, so the Kang Dynasty is basically where he actually dominates, the entire Earth. Okay, where he sort of establishes his, like, sort of his kingdom lah. Okay, or his people use the word dominion, but yeah, okay. And then he of course he had the help of his son called Marcus. Okay, so that is the storyline that sort of what we are thinking, because that storyline itself is called Kang Dynasty. And it's quite new, not yeah, new in the sense that it is that storyline of Kang is much way newer than what it was before, and how that particular comic actually refers to, like, Pharaoh Ramadan and all that as variants of Kang. Okay, because previously, like, when Pharaoh Ramadan was in the comic, there was no linkage to Kang, but somehow later on they linked that to Kang. So there's different versions of Kang, so it's going to be, so it's Kang Dynasty. It could be, um, like, so actually in this storyline is where the Kangs are fighting each other, right? So one Kang is trying to outdo the other Kang, and all that, and this is where the Avengers come in to try and stop this, because this is where it causes a lot of, like, incursions, like what we hear in Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness, what Reed Richards speaks about the incursions. I think they purposely put that particular line that Reed Richards has to say that because it's his descendant that caused an incursion, so things like that. So yeah, so that's the sort of like the storyline that we are sort of expecting. We know Marvel likes to pick comics that are pretty new in terms of the storyline. They don't go all the way back to the 60s or the 70s. They do pick up Easter eggs from there, but in terms of storylines or the idea or the inspiration for the storyline normally comes from pretty relatively newer comics or comic storylines, right? So yeah, so that is basically how the story is going to be. Eddie, what's your thought on it?
I think I can't really say much about the story because in order for Kang to be a villain, he needs to have a plot or he needs to have a story. So the only thing we know from Loki is that he became the Conqueror. He was killed by Sylvie to to let it happen, to let the inevitable happen. So I think once we watch second season of Loki, and I think only in the second season we will know what to expect and what to know and what to notice. Because for now I still can't see Kang as like the mighty badass yet. Because he's not like Thanos who wants to like equalize the world, or he's not like any want to take over the world or something. He's just taking care of the timeline for now. That's what we know for now. So what makes him a villain and how the plot goes, that is the real question lah. So I think from second season of Loki, that will be huge. And also Quantumania. I think Quantumania will also be huge. But I think the bigger one will be Loki lah, because that will be mostly about him, mostly about Kang. So we have to see that. We have to see what these two series and movie will offer. Yeah.
But we know that, of course, in terms of, so Kang's main goal is to control what he can control. Like what he explained in or he who remains. See, I want to say who he who must not be named. Okay, but he who remains said that you know because of every Kang that comes out of a timeline will try to outdo the next Kang, or and so on. So this is like a process that's been going on, right? So ultimately, Kang the Conqueror just wants to conquer, right, and be the person who has it all, right? So that is the sort of character that Kang is. Of course, how much of this Kang the Conqueror we will see in Ant-Man Quantumania, not really sure. In terms of how much he how of a big bad that he can be. May not see, like for example, like Thanos. We see him in the post credit of if I'm not mistaken, Avengers, the first Avengers movie, right? He just smiles. So we think, who's this funny guy smiling? But of course, it's Thanos, but it'd be like, why is he smiling? How big of how strong of a villain is he, right? And what's he doing and what's his plan? Even we see him in the Guardians, Volume One, if I'm not mistaken, where he, okay, sort of shows his strength, but not as scary as you see him, or not as like powerful as you see him during Infinity War, right? In terms that he just will rip everything apart just to get his goal, right? So we might not see like that sort of Kang yet, but I think as we go along, like what you mentioned in Quantumania, in Loki season 2 especially. But see, the question also arises is which Kang we will see in Loki season 2? Is it Kang the Conqueror? Is it Kang maybe the scientist? Different versions of Kang. We have like many versions of Kang. If I name all the versions, we'll be here all night. Okay, but yeah. So, but we don't know which version of Kang will appear in Loki season 2, and wherever else, whichever movie post credit scene he might appear, or he might be referenced in which. So there's so many things that is, yeah, you're right, still unknown. But in terms of his character, we know that he just wants to be the conqueror, right? He wants to conquer everything. So that's his end goal. So in this particular storyline, in this comic series, is where it shows how he fights the Avengers to stay on top. And we have many theories of like also which Avengers will show up. How many Avengers, because like what it was announced in SDCC is that Fantastic Four will be released before I think 2 or 3 projects before Kang Dynasty. So we still have the possibilities of even Fantastic Four being in Kang Dynasty. Possibility why I'm saying that maybe they might not join the first Kang Dynasty sort of movie, but they may come in Secret Wars. And then we also have recently with Marvel's keyword mutants or mutation that was mentioned there. So there's also rumors that there could be some mutant projects, not an X-Men project, but a mutant project coming up also. And we might see mutants maybe popping up here and there as well, in different maybe in the Marvels, things like that. So this sort of, even Avengers also, like we see there's many but the thing is, okay, yeah, so the only difference we will have here is we won't have definitely Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and also Chris Evans' Captain America, because we will have a new Captain America in Sam Wilson. What's his real name?
Anthony Mackie, I think.
Anthony Mackie, yes. Okay. All right. So yeah, so we will have him as Captain America, and and we will have like Riri Williams as Ironheart. I'm sure even these young Avengers also might play a role. Somewhere maybe in Kang Dynasty, maybe in Secret Wars, we don't know. So
No,
yeah,
I honestly think it's very hard to speculate everything now, because there's so many new characters, and the characters that we know are all like either retiring, dead, or no longer relevant. Like even Thor also, we don't know what happened, right? So we don't know if Thor is even relevant. Like, you look at Black Panther, she, it's not relevant anymore because new person. Captain America say not relevant anymore because new person. You don't know what's gonna happen. What else? Iron Man is not here. Spider-Man is lost in somewhere. Doctor Strange, God knows what happened, or what's gonna happen. You know, we know his third eye, and that's about it. So there's a lot of, and then we have She-Hulk coming up. So we know that eventually Hulk will pass the baton to She-Hulk, and then we already have that with Jeremy Renner. What's his name? Hawkeye passing his baton. So everybody's passing batons, and there's new characters coming up. The only one that remains the same, even Miss Marvel, so even Captain Marvel is going to change, right? So the only one that remains the same is Thor, which we don't know what happened yet, and Ant-Man, Quantumania. So until we see Quantumania next year, February, only then we will have a lot of input to give on what's next. I think that will be the big bang. I think Quantumania is supposed to come up before Loki. That is the timeline of how it releases. So,
yeah, but I mean, of course, we know Loki is not exactly on the timeline because it's out of time.
I'm talking about movie timeline.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I mean, of course, we know that it will be in place as we go along. I mean, before this, it was like all over the place, but then now I think we have a little bit more of a direction that we are heading into, right? Okay, so I just want to just do something that we have never done before on the show, is just to pick up some theories over the internet and let's see whether. I mean, of course, it makes sense, but it's also something for us to discuss about. Okay, so I just read what they call this post on Reddit the other day, and then sort of caught my eye in terms of this could make sense, right? It's not a leak or anything. It's purely speculation, right? So this person goes on to write, in Kang Dynasty, it's not just heroes versus Kang, but it's a Kang story and his endless conflict with himself on his variants, like what we spoke about earlier. It's not just Kang fighting Avengers or fighting superheroes. It's Kang versus Kang as well, like what in Loki season 1 explained, how he goes back and destroys all his other variants, right? To avoid this sort of multiversal war and things like that. So for Kang, things are too much complicated. He just doesn't want victory, but worthy challenges. But every time he wins, he traps himself in an infinite loop. At the end, he gets bored and frustrated and wants someone to free him by killing him. So that is something that we also see in Loki season 1, where he who remains. That's what he did. I think he was just bored. I got nothing else to do because he's in infinite loop, right? So maybe what Loki season or what happened in Loki at the end of Loki in season 1 is that it sort of created another sort of branch, another way of going about things. So yeah, Kang plans his own murders and then dies, and then he returns, rules again, die again, and this sort of like keeps happening, like one mentioned, the infinite loop. He's at a point in time where he wished he wasn't born and had not invented the multiverse travel, because this omniverse has become chaotic and more chaotic. It has broken so bad that even Kang can't repair it. In simple words, he wants to wipe out his own existence from all over the multiverse timelines and everything possible, which includes him, but he's unable to do so. So, because there are infinite variants of himself and they keep coming back, and Prime Kang doesn't want to leave the universe to them because they are not trustable, right? So, it's like very, what this person is trying to say is that it's very Kang focused sort of Avengers movie, rather than just having the typical Avengers storyline where you suddenly see out of nowhere Captain America, Captain Marvel, and whatever Fantastic Four mutants like coming and fighting. This like good versus good, like that, But this is more like even the bad versus bad. Like it's like very Kang focused movie, which what Kang Dynasty will be. So at the end of Kang Dynasty, he finds the Beyonders. We know the Beyonders are rumored, of course, in the comic storyline. Also, in Kang Dynasty storyline, so the Beyonders are there. So beyond this, we know the race of Marvel gods, which can fulfill his wish and repair the damage caused to the multiverse. Beyond this are not from any universe. In fact, they are beyond everything, so nothing affects them. And Kang wants to use their powers to correct his own mistakes. And some extent, he even succeeds until Doom interferes and lead to Secret Wars. So it's not don't. Yeah, it's not a very huge storyline, okay, based on this, but it sort of puts things into perspective. Like, we have, I think the other day, myself and Jess were also discussing on a previous video that we are very, they're thinking that, Doctor Doom could appear in Wakanda forever. Sort of maybe not appear directly, but maybe mentions of his name and Easter egg, or the person behind that whole sting operation that's going on in whatever they're doing in Wakanda forever. So yeah, it sort of put to perspective that how expanded the story is going into Kang Dynasty, right? So I think it's quite it's very interesting. Like, when we read more and more about this, it just creates that sort of like, so many things happen, like this can happen, that can happen, and how they're going to fix everything together, and how much of problem that Kang Dynasty will create that Secret Wars has to fix.
No, but that's the thing, right? Everything seems to be like whatever you mentioned, seems to be like things that fans would know, things that people who does the research and fans, hardcore fans who knows, who is Doctor Doom, or who is Kang, or what about Kang, or how did Kang come up. These are like for diehard, big heart fans. Like when you speak very humbly, like in a sense of just a moviegoer, and just use a few spice of just comic reference, then you just lose sense. Like you try just think whatever all the theories that you said, and try to see it from a point of a moviegoer.
They'll get confused.
Yeah, you get confused, especially coming from Phase 4, where none of these characters are in going to be the big people in Phase 5. So like, you cannot be revealing too many characters. You already have Daredevil coming up. Okay, Daredevil, fine, people know. You have new She-Hulk. You have new Black Panther. You will have so many. People's going to be wondering. People have wondered like, why suddenly Wanda had powers. You know what I mean? So that one's also because people made mistakes by not watching it. But just imagine new characters like Adam Warlock who's going to come up. Like, people are going to get lost, and we not even talking about the Eternals yet. We never even start there yet. Somehow Eternals are going to fit into the picture somehow, at some point. So all these theories are somewhat a little bit too crazy to me, because it's just too wild to drop everything based on comic reference, and to put new storylines, and to put new characters. And can you just imagine watching a movie of Kang fighting Kang again and again on the loop? You know how stupid it's gonna sound. You're gonna be like, what am I watching? Why like, just why? So the movies and series before that has to make sense. It has to be very simple, and it has to make sense. It has to connect the dots. And once it comes to Kang Dynasty, it has to just be very, very simple, so that Secret War can be bombastic. That's what they have to do. So
I'm sure they will make it simple so that people can follow.
Yeah.
Because we also have a not fan base, but moviegoers who are like one-off movie, like, or they like this movie, they don't like this movie, they like this movie. They're not like avid followers. They just based purely on an entertainment basis. So I'm sure it's not going to be as. Even if you look at the Infinity Saga, even if you look into the comic, it's very complicated. And the whole story is so different. At the end of the day, you have many people wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. But you see in how simple sort of they made it. Yeah, it includes time traveling and a lot of scientific things that it's not how to say even really possible. But they sort of made the story a little bit more simple, despite whatever other setbacks like little theories and all that, and where this possible, that possible, all logic lah, basically, right? But movies, they cannot be 100% logic. There has to be some things that are illogical, so it makes the movie nicer to watch. But yeah, I'm sure they'll make it as simple. That's why I think why they're also planning to do Loki season 2 is also to explain this sort of like variance, right? I think like Loki season 2 might really like go into different types of Kangs, just to introduce quite a number of Kangs, so that or Kang variants, so that we know when it comes to Kang Dynasty, we're like, oh, who's this or who's that,
Yeah,
might not get confused lah.
yeah, but Marvel has to be very careful because now there's so much prerequisites that you have to watch. Like even before this, we already had Wanda, Loki, what else? Wanda, Loki, and one more. What am I missing?
Okay.
No. To connect to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Was it just Wanda and Loki? And What If?
Yeah.
So you have 3 prerequisites to watch so that you can understand Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Can you imagine how much you have to watch to understand the next coming films? You have Miss Marvel to watch. You have She-Hulk to watch. You have so many prerequisites that you have Loki to watch. So I think at some point, if Marvel is not careful enough, they may lose viewership. And at some point, that's when like only hardcore people will go. And then, when you have hardcore people go, you have very high expectations that you have to meet. You have to give comic reference. You have to follow comics. You have to make something that makes sense. You have to, so many gimmicks lah. So Marvel has to be very careful lah. That's how I feel. I think we only can talk so much once we watch Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I think that will give something at least.
Yeah. We know we're not going to get that movie. Maybe it's on
yet.
Disney Plus Hotstar lah, but yeah, we surely will get it sometime soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I do understand what you mean. Yeah, definitely they have to make it a lot more like they have to have a pull factor lah, basically. Yeah. So but we hope that Marvel will come. I'm sure Marvel has a plan. Of course, they're not going to play all their cards in just 1 or 2 movies. Definitely, they're going to like prolong it. Definitely, some may not even like have anything to do with Kang Dynasty. It might just be a one-off, sort of a storyline, whatever. Let's say like the Marvels could be just something so totally different, or it could have a exponential, like I mean not exponential, but a huge impact on what maybe what might happen in Secret Invasions, and then also maybe in Secret Wars, and things like that. So there's a lot going to be. We can sort of see the connection in the dots, right? But not fully. We don't have the full picture yet. So yeah, we will definitely see it as time goes by, lah. Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if we talk too much, we also get confused. So we just wanted to get it out there, like what sort of things to expect, and what how confusing it is going to be, because Kang himself is a confusing guy. If you watch in the ending of Loki, whatever he speaks about, you have to like re-listen and listen again so that you know what his message is going, or what his message actually is, right? Because I remember the first time I watched, I'd be like, this guy's been talking for like 5 minutes today. I couldn't understand what he meant, But yeah, so it's a matter of time, lah, right? But we know that Kang Dynasty is not the end. Secret Wars is going to be even bigger than Kang Dynasty, and it's going to be probably one of the biggest superhero movies that we have yet to see, lah, right? It's going to be a very huge project. So I don't know how they're going to keep everything under wraps. I don't know how they're going to do it, but somehow Marvel, we'll see, lah. Huh? I'm sure they're going to be leaks and stuff like that. So yeah, all right. Okay, so I think that's it for today on Kang Dynasty, and I'm sure as we have more information, we will do other theory videos on this, and we will. It's still like 3 years away, lah, right?
Yeah.
So, but we just wanted, but out of the excitement of Kang Dynasty, just wanted to speak about it and try to see how we can make sense of it all. But as far as you know now, we still cannot make sense much.
You know what sucks?
Yeah.
No Mephisto.
Never say never. Never say. Maybe he's the next big bet of the next saga.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we had like, okay lah. I mean, yeah. Thanos was like coming to Earth bound, something like that, and then now we have like a sort of a multiversal villain. Maybe the next will be like a supernatural villain. You know? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we never know. I mean, probably that's how they tried to do it, lah. Okay? Fingers crossed. Mephisto. Okay, next one. Okay. Alright, so that's it from us, guys. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Because we do want to release more and more content for you guys. The more you support us, the more we will be able to do more for you, more videos for you guys, and just get it out there. And we have so many things planned, and we will, of course, inform you guys by following us on our Instagram and Facebook. We post sometimes we may not be able to do if there's a breaking news, we may not be able to do a video right away and put it out. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook at thegeekstreet.my, so that we will be able to you'll be able to catch up on the latest on the happenings, everything to do with Marvel, right? Even when they announced that Thor is not going to be played, we sort of, took the statement and released it on our Instagram as well, so that people are also updated, right? So that's the things we do there. And you also can follow our little small community currently that we have, but we try to build that community on Discord. So come and join us and lip up, and come and just give us your thoughts. We have a small community going there, and so far it's been good. And they've been sharing, of course, their frustration with Thor: Love and Thunder showing, and they're also pretty excited about what's coming in terms of Marvel, and all that. And we also, if you are into memes, come and meme out with Jess and Harvey on the Discord channel. So the link for that is in the description below. Okay, other than that, I think we are done for today, right? Okay, so thank you everyone, and this is the Geek Street, and the street has spoken. Take care, bye bye.